Hi, I'm Maddy. I'm the head of content and copywriting at Blank Theory. I want to talk to you today about how everyone can write, but can everyone write copy? I'm here to tell you that there are 5 mistakes that you're making, but how you can flip the narrative and make it so that your copy tracks, engages, and converts. Mistake number 1, you're not thinking about your audience. If you're not thinking about who is reading your copy, then you might as well be sending a message in a bottle. Say your business sells professional grade axes. Your audience aren't just people looking for an axe for just chopping up firewood for the winter. They need these axes as their tool for their livelihood. But it's not as simple as just saying, we've got great axes. You need to use their language and appeal to the part of their identity that really needs that axe. So this means choosing messaging that aligns with your audience. So this can be as simple as the content and information. Like, do these people need to know safety tips for using an axe, or would that just be a bit patronizing? Are they more interested in finding a good deal, or do they really just want a premium product? Then you need to pick a voice that suits. If you get it right, the hard work really pays off. In fact, 88% of consumers want authenticity from their brands. And it means that you're consistent. And consistency, including with your brand voice, has been shown to increase revenue by up to 33%. If I were writing for this business, I'd can the flowery language and write direct and to the point. When you know your audience and what they're looking for, it's easy to write copy that connects. You just need to think about who you're talking to. Mistake number 2, you're prioritizing SEO over quality. SEO is a digital marketing staple, and for good reason. Almost 50% of businesses find it's their leading channel for ROI, and it offers about 20 times more traffic opportunities than PPC ads. But you can't forget that your SEO copy isn't just for Google, it's for real people looking for answers. When you put SEO above people, you're not going to be connecting with your users or showing your brand's best side. Or it can be rushing the work and prioritizing quantity over quality. When we're talking about quality when it comes to copy, we're talking about depth and detail. This is why you need to research before you write, particularly with your SEO keywords, such as long tail keywords. They actually can give you a guide of where to go from. If I were given the long tail keyword of where do I buy a speaker system, I would answer that question, but also build out other important information. So you could start with foundational knowledge about why it's important to have a particular speaker system, and then you can build on from there with saying how to best set up the speaker system to get the great results that the person is looking for. In this way, you're trying to guess what your users are going to be looking for after they find the information they want. This sets up your brand as an expert, making you more reliable and making it more likely that users will turn to you every time they need this kind of information. And this is why it's important that you guess ahead. Mistake number 3, you're not making your copy accessible. When you're writing for your audience, there's plenty to consider, but if they can't even understand what you're writing, what's the point? Unlike other mediums, writing can actually be a very exclusionary space. In Australia, roughly 68% of the population reads at a Year 7 to Year 12 level. But what about the rest of the population? Worryingly, about 15% of the population reads at a Year 6 level or below, and only about 14% can read at a post-high school level. So if you want your copy to be understood and not have to dilute it down to a picture book, you need to be writing accessibly. You want to aim for that Year 7 to Year 9 golden spot. This means shorter sentences, limiting adverbs, using active voice, and avoiding any jargon. It also means when you do come across those more difficult concepts, you want to be explaining them in detail. It's not just the words you use though, structure is vital. You want a clear, logical structure that's easy to follow. Use headings to signpost to readers where they'll find the information that's most important to them, so they can skim and scan as they need to. Even if you're writing for a specialist field of high-level professionals, you want to make things easy for them. And this makes sense. Google gives us access to a wealth of information. Why wouldn't we take the easier road? If your copy is too hard to read, people are going to click off and go and find the information in an easier format. Mistake number 4, you're not doing your research beforehand. If you don't research before you write, you risk spreading misinformation, and this can have serious consequences depending on the industry you're in. You can also end up not even answering your users' queries. All these mistakes will tank your ROI and make your brand appear less reputable. But the good thing is that when you do research, you're not just looking at better metrics, the writing will come more easily. Say I was writing a blog for a pearl jewelry brand. When I researched them, I learned that they're all about being ethical and sustainable. So I need to find out what that means in their industry. A little more browsing the brand's website and learn that their work has been used on runways across the world. This is a pretty good selling point, I reckon. I already have 2 points ready. This blog is practically written. 2 of the key things that come up when I'm searching about fine jewelry is people want longevity and timelessness. Finally, I want to look at where competitors are going wrong and where I can learn from their mistakes. For instance, they might spend a lot of words explaining what a piece looks like when there's a picture right next to it. Or they might go into the materials that we use, but not actually explaining why that matters. In as little as 30 minutes, I've got my points ready to go. Now it's just a simple matter of connecting the dots and creating a persuasive argument to show users why they really can't do without this jewelry. Research isn't a chore, it makes writing easier and gets you the results you're after. Mistake number 5, you're all doom and gloom. FOMO and YOLO are 2 sides of the same coin. But if you're only focusing on fear in your copy, it's time to start embracing the positive. This is because a recent study has shown that a positive spin rather than a negative one is far better at selling pretty much any product or service. While fear has been shown to increase brand attachment and improve recall of marketing campaigns, it won't necessarily encourage conversions or a long-lasting relationship with a brand. You don't have to abandon fear entirely though. It's still a persuasive writing technique and FOMO is real. What you want to be doing though is giving them that fear and then a positive emotion to follow. So if you had a roadside assist service, you could have a tagline about making sure you get home in time for dinner rather than no one's coming for you. Well, there's lots to consider when writing your copy. If you focus on your audience and writing for them, including giving them a positive experience, you're nailing it. If you want to learn more about digital marketing, including heaps of great tips, tricks, and guides, we're going to be posting heaps of great content on our channel, so make sure that you hit like and subscribe.